What's up, Rockstars? Welcome to a huge update. I have a lot of big announcements, some cool first new looks at things. There's a lot to discuss, some branded IP stuff, CMON's next Kickstarter. We're covering it all right now. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. As always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that this channel is possible. If you appreciate the videos I make every single week for you guys, and they are truly for you guys, there is a link down in the description below. Even $1 a month would help out greatly. Thank you so much. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, I'm going to start with a 3D printed campaign because I feel it's very important. It has to do with Ukraine. If you aren't interested, there are timestamps down below. You can skip around to whatever interests you, or you can just sit through and look at some pretty minis and hear me talk about how it's a good, it's all for a good cause to feed people. So let's talk about this 3D printable stuff for gamers and painters. Right now it's at $323,000 from 4,378 people. Still 7 days to go at the time of recording. Now this is massive. First of all, it's one of the biggest, like, essentially giveaways of minis I've seen from a slew of creators, which is great to see it. The story. Why is this Ukraine branded? This is by a sculptor from Ukraine, and his American friend kind of put this together, and they were actually going to do it before the war even broke out. They were already planning it and putting things together. Essentially, the sculptor is part of this group that helps feed people in need in Ukraine. They do these like massive vats of like soup and biscuits and stuff like that, and they give it out to people who need it. And obviously with the war and everything going on in Ukraine, that's needed even more than ever. So it's great to see all the support here, not just from, you know, you guys and us as a community, but also the sculptors and stuff like that. There's stuff from all over, just everywhere. 1,000 plus STLs. It is massive. They have a $50, a $75, and an $85 tier, though of course you can always give more if you so choose. The unique thing here is this terrain piece from Ukraine, which I think is pretty cool. They have a ton of like bases, and these bases are like themed, so like this is like some undead theme one. This right here in particular I think is great. I love this, the skulls there. They have like this kind of earth, you know, molten lava kind of thing going on here. They got the plant one. They got the water one here. A ton of minis. You're going to recognize so many. They have terrain. They have source books. They have really cool looking minis here. Beasterium does great work. All of these, actually, Titan Forge. I mean, these are all like big name, everything from indie to the big name, patrons and tribes and stuff like that. All of this is going through my mini factory, so it's super convenient. It'll add to your library. And again, they just have so much. So much. I mean, it's wild. So anyway, I'm not going to spend forever showing you all that because again, there's a ton. All this and more is linked down in the description below. Feel free to check them out. And if nothing else, you can just give that $1, even if you just want to consider it a kind of a nice donation thing. I'm sure they would appreciate it. Okay, moving on. We have Raw. I've covered this before. This is probably the last time I'm going to because there's only 5 days left. They're at 380,000 funded, so they have done quite well for themselves. And some of you commented on the last one saying that this is like one of your favorite like kind of games where you're like purchasing tiles and stuff like that. So very, very cool. And $40 is a great price for entry, and if you want to pimp it out at 80, you can certainly do that. Again, link in the description below. You can check out all of those. Now, this is Household. It's by 2LM Press, they've done several Kickstarters, actually quite a few. I think this is their 8th or 9th now. I've covered them before in the past. They do these really cool RPG settings. This one, they have CMON actually doing the miniatures. So the miniatures should actually turn out quite nice. A lot of times in these RPG ones, the minis are kind of so-so. These will probably be quite nice. And that's kind of the hope anyway, right? Hopefully better than Master of Darkness 2, but obviously probably still better than a lot of the other ones that you get when you back these kind of games. I want to say, though, that this is probably my favorite themed one when it comes to, like, the tiny people, right? You know, growing up, watching stuff like Toy Soldiers and stuff like that, I always really liked, what was the one with they were in the drawer, and I can't think of the name right now. You guys will have to remind me in the comments, because I know you know what I'm talking about. I think it was a late 80s, early 90s, Indian in the Cupboard. Boom, got it. All right, there you go. So there's that one, too, of course. I'll always love that theme. The art style and the setting and just the feel of this one. Look at this. This guy has a gun key. Yes. Yeah. Squall would be very happy about that. Leon, depending on which game you play him as. Just awesome. Very, very cool to see just the art style. Like he's got at least two little like scissor blades, but then he's got these like golden wings, like dragonfly wings and stuff. This guy, you know, with like fighting off the vicious rats. It looks so good. So good. I would be tempted to get this just for the RPG book. I love RPG books. They look gorgeous. They look beautiful. 300 plus pages, hardcover, 200 plus pages. 200 plus pages. I mean, there's a ton here for you to enjoy. These beautiful dice. There's a lot. This is a Kickstarter exclusive model. So if you like the kind of traveler girl with the mushrooms and the bugs and stuff like that, you can only get it here, of course. Yeah, there's a lot here. You can get the PDF for $30 if nothing else though, but it looks like a lot of fun. I actually really dig this one. So that's really cool. Apparently 2LM, I didn't know this, is a publishing arm of CMON. Did not know that. So they're the same company. So it's CMON's next campaign. They're just using another company name for it. So whatever. Anyway, didn't know that. There you go. Now you know. I've been seeing them for forever. Rivenstone, a brand new tabletop miniature skimmers game. This is massive. It's almost look 229,000. So it's broken 200,000 now. 6 days left to go. It looks really interesting. It has like these narrative cards that you can do, but then they also have like the stack cards as well. So it's there's a lot of cards, but there's dice as well that you're throwing, but not like a whole bunch of dice. It's very much a not like an army thing like Warhammer. It's more like a kill zone kind of you know, all the different like skirmish ones. I think they're all kind of like that, Malifaux and everything. All resin minis through Siocast. Also, I did contact Siocast. I want to take a look at their minis, so I'll try and let you guys know. It won't be in time for this, but I am going to try and get a very detailed look at some Siocast minis for you guys because they're popping up more and more. That being said, one of the reasons they've gained so much is because getting it all is expensive. It kind of reminds me of the Edge Dawn Guard, if you remember that from Awakened Realms and how it's structured. And then it's like you can get this faction or this faction or this faction. There's like, you know, 6 different factions or whatever. And then you can get a pack of 2 if you want to do that. But to go all in, it's like $840 or something like that. It's like really expensive because it's a bunch of resin, right? I mean, but they have like single mini, $875. They have single minis are like $25, right? Which for like Games Workshop is cheap, but for everybody else, normal board gamers, that's pretty darn expensive. Next up, we have Warzone Eternal. I won't go as far into this. It's only 62,000, but it has successfully funded, and the creator is active in the comments and stuff like that. This is officially licensed Mutant Chronicles universe stuff based off the 1995 original. So if any of that sounds cool to you, link in the description below, of course. Moving on from that, we have Arora, Age of Desolation. And if you didn't notice, there's a lot of like 5th edition RPG stuff going on here. There is actually a really cool thing I want to show you guys towards the end. And then there's also, of course, a very cool RPG I haven't even ever shown before coming up. This is the last campaign that's active. I'm going to show you guys 254,000, a giant freaking dragon. I mean, he's like 13 centimeters tall, so 130 millimeter. That's easy to convert thanks to the metric system. Not that I would know what that is. The art looks cool. I actually like the CMON one more than this. I think the CMON one's probably my favorite one of the bunch, but the minis do look pretty neat. I don't know what they'll look like in the final version, and that's always kind of the question, right? But either way, quite cool, especially a big old dragon. Everybody loves that. You can never have too many. Well, you probably can't have too many dragons, but it'd be a lot of dragons. That's a good problem to have. Okay, what's coming up? Batman, May 24th. Guys, this is very soon. Like, next week soon. So, like, seriously, like, now that it's, like, a little bit after 1 a.m., 4 days from now, okay? Like, this is, like, now. This is Ghostmaker. They're doing a lot of newer stuff here. Like, for instance, they have Punchline here as well, which is like the Harley Quinn replacement, because Harley Quinn has turned good. And so now the Joker has a new person. That's Punchline. Punchline is very different, though, in that she's not crazy. She's just kind of sadistic. So what she's doing here is throwing daggers, but that's probably some, like, Joker poison stuff going on in there. But either way, I mean, you got Ghostmaker with the tool blades there. He kind of reminds me of Azrael a little bit, in that or Red Hood, or any other number of people that are like, I'm a vigilante, but I'm like more, I don't follow Batman's code. Speaking of Batman, here's another version of Batman. This one has like his like face mask thing going on there, so he's COVID ready. And of course, the most important thing of all, the reason you're going to be backing this, they have rocket penguins. Need I say more? No, of course not. There you go. Rocket penguins, you're welcome. Moving on from that, we have unmatched storage and accessories. Some of my patrons are going like bananas over this. And in fact, so are other people. So this is kind of all you see here. But if you are a fan of Unmatched, which I've heard is actually quite good, this will allow you to kind of customize and store a whole bunch. Should be pretty cool. I don't know when it's coming out, but definitely will be nice to see. Anything that helps with storage, I think, is a nice thing. Okay, Nanolith Cyberpunk RPG board game. This has not been covered by like anybody really. Even the BGG page has, I think, one other video on it. Honestly, it looks pretty cool. It's 733 followers right now. It is a cyberpunk. It says here a co-op skirmish and story-based board game. On the Board Game Geek page, it says a dungeon crawl. But it has this guy here. You can kind of see him here. It's a panda robot. I mean, yeah, just saying. So let's see. Some of the things you can do is you like roll dice and like use those to like assign amount and stuff like that. But they have a system where essentially you can get rid of the luck, right, by like taking on like a resource. I think they call it aggro or something like that. So it's not like a complete crapshoot on what you roll, which is nice. And then there's a decision point actually with each one. So honestly, sounds kind of cool. It looks like it's like a book skirmish. So you open it up, then you have the map in there, and then of course you have the story and stuff like that. I don't think English is their native language though, so keep that in mind whenever it comes to anything narrative, story-based, whatever. And if you're wanting it in English, that is going to be a translation, I suspect, which can be either great or bad. RuneScape. Let's talk about prices. Let's talk about what you're doing here. Most important thing of all. Most important things of all. Core game with the core pledge, $80. That's a 35 discount equivalent to the retail price, which, I don't know how beholden they are to the MSRP. Normally they do it pretty cheap though there. Either way, you get 16 minis and 400 cards in the core pledge. And it's a 15-hour replayable campaign. You've seen kind of the map where you're moving around, you're drawing cards and doing that kind of stuff. And you can see some of the new minis here that they haven't really shown. This guy here says gameplay all in pledge. I don't know if that means that he's only in there or not. Either way, there's a replayable 24-hour fantasy adventure packed into that one. That will be $150, which is a $70 discount from retail price. I'm assuming it has these 4 expansions here that you see. And yeah, that's about it. We don't get too many details about that. The deluxe all-in, which is exclusive to the Kickstarter, the deluxe is important there. That'll be $195. So not like a huge amount more, and under 200, which is kind of nice. 80 discount, though again it's exclusive, so there's none there. Comes with a neoprene mat and wooden tokens and neoprene boss mats and just a whole lot of fanciness there. Okay, so anyway, that's really it that I wanted to show there, is that you won't be spending more than $200 on RuneScape, even if you get all the pimping, all the bells and whistles, all of it. All the pimping sounds weird, but you know what I mean. Okay, the DC deck building game 10th anniversary. What I wanted to show is actually a retail thing here for you guys. They have now delivered the Crossover Collection 1 and the Crisis Collection 1. Now, I need your help, guys. In the description below, or in the description, guys, I swear, you would think I know how to do this. In the comments below, please let me know. I've asked here, but I haven't gotten an answer yet, and I want an answer. What do I need to play these versions? So I'm backing the game through a friendly local gaming store that did the Kickstarter, and then of course I'm going to be adding the stuff that they didn't get in the retail pledge. But I don't have the main game yet. Can I play the Crossover Collection and the Crisis Collection? Should I go to the store right now and go get them? Let me know. I will go to the store and I will get these and I will play them. Let you guys know if I can actually play them. If they need the core game, then I guess no. Then so we'll find out on that, I guess, together, or you'll let me know. So either way, those are available now at retail. On their web shop, on eBay, all that kind of stuff. So just as an FYI, they I guess some of these aren't easily gotten anymore, and they have some like promos in them and stuff like that. Whatever. Middara, Unintentional Malum, the complete trilogy. This is their latest Kickstarter, the second one that they had. Pledge Manager is reopened until July 8th. And there is some new stuff. There's some info about the 1.2. Let's go ahead and discuss. So there's a whole list of important facts here. I'm not going to necessarily read all of this. Essentially, oh, hey, look, there's me. They're not going to be charging shipping until around Q4, because they're not going to be charging shipping until about 30 days before they ship, because prices are going crazy. They've seen what has happened in the industry where people are struggling to kind of guess where the charge is, and they don't want to guess. They don't want to undercharge. They don't want to overcharge. Whatever the shipping is, they're going to let us know and then charge us in. So that's kind of what that's about. They linked this because while you might think I'm just like I rate on CMON or something like that, this is an actual video where I go over kind of an overview of freight and shipping and how it's so hard to really guess on that. Any number you see is pretty much just made up if it's at all early at all. So unless they know the number, it's not the number. Pretty much guaranteed. It's too volatile. They do have some new stuff here. So they missed the last expansion extravaganza. They do some like fancy collector minis every Valentine's Day. They missed this last one, but they have it here now. So you get this very Kingdom Death Monster like guy. This dude has a ton of hands going on, as you can see, it's gross. Okay, so there's a lot of hands going on there. That's all I'm saying. I'm moving on from that. He's gross. He's nasty, and very KDM like, in my opinion. But like, a more anime version of it, of course. Then you have this like rock chick subwoofer worm thing. Look, it's got teeth. Okay, layers and layers of like molars and junk. So again, just wild stuff, which I appreciate. I like that it's so different. I've never seen anything like this. I dig it. And yeah, that's super cool. And they come with like gameplay stuff too, so they're actually useful. Comes with like an Esper and stuff like that too, if I believe. So that'll be cool. That'll be really cool to see painted. I know you guys will do great. And this one, I've shown this off before. What a fantastic, again, I love the paint brushes that they have going on here. And then here you can see the paintbrush going on the base and then going into the brush there, which I think is super cool to see. And they're very much centered on it. I love the lady's big fro hair too. That is just awesome. So a very cool one, that one, for sure, my opinion. And then we have this one, which is like some weird summoning thing with the most disgusting tongue like ever. Like, I don't like any part of that. And it's got hands coming out of its eyes. Again, we're getting a lot of hands here, which is always fun, I guess. They do have a compatibility pack, because they are doing a 1.2, because they are doing a third print of Middara. Anytime they do another print, they want to update it with all the stuff here. This one is not as big as the 1.1. This is mostly a lot of like math-based stuff for the cards, and it's more not what you'd experience every single game, but kind of throughout the whole game. If you're getting anything that needs it, though, you're getting that pack for free. If for some reason you have only bought Act 1 and you don't want to back anything else, you can still get it for $20. But otherwise, they're just going to throw it in the package for you. This is something I've seen other companies doing Mythic Games before with their errata packs. It's very welcome. Thank you so much for doing that. Both not, keeping up with your game and making it as good as possible. And don't think, by the way, that 1.1 isn't fantastic, because it is. Like, from my understanding, 1.1 you could enjoy forever and still be fine. This math-based stuff is also mostly to kind of continue on to Act 2 and 3. They brought Pete in, another designer, to kind of look at that aspect of like the long-term play of this, and they tweaked the math a little bit because of that. I think that's what drove a lot of this. But they have, again, a lot of FAQs and stuff like that here, so you can kind of look into that. Oh, their previous resin minis were made into plastic. The new resin minis will also be made into plastic, so you can get that. They also have new dice tuck bags. They got a new prints here, right here. Some new neoprene mats for all the other characters that we've had. New pretty dice, just a whole bunch of stuff, guys. So yeah, there's a ton there. That's pretty cool. If you need help, they have a buyer's guide, because there's a lot here. So you can look through this, you can read it for the next week, study it up. There'll be a test later, and it's called the Pledge Manager. It's open right now until July 8th. One last thing. This is the latest tease we have gotten from Mythic Games for their V game. And I like his blue fire water trident thingy. Looks pretty cool. And a lot of Vs, right? We got the V here. We got a little hidden V in here. So maybe even this is a V, you could say. How many Vs are in this picture? Guys, that's it. That's all I had. Again, just kind of trying to get this quick to you guys, so I'm not beating around the bush or anything, but trying to show you a lot of cool stuff, from the big name stuff to the indie developers as well that maybe need a little bit of love, to a donation thing. There's all sorts of stuff here. Again, if you have any information on the DC one, do let me know. I would appreciate it, of course. And with that, have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.